Hello everyone, welcome to a new video on Python for data science. So today, in this particular video, what we'll look at is we'll discuss a new data structure called set. Okay, so what are sets? Okay, what are set? Sets are standard data types. Set is a standard data type in Python. What it basically does is it stores values, but unlike your other data types called lists, tuples, or dictionaries for that matter. So set cannot have multiple instances of the values. Multiple instances of values are not present in set. Okay. It can also be since this is one property of set, you can actually use this property to perform whole lot of other operations, which we'll basically look at in this particular video. So how do you initialize a set? How do you create a set? Again, it's fairly simple. You just use parentheses. But yeah, this parenthesis was also used in dictionary. But the difference is here you do not have any key value pairs. Okay, in this particular case, we'll look at, since you have my set as well. So when you actually look at the output of set, right, my underscore set, you do not see 2 over there. So basically what has happened over there is this particular value, which is actually repeating. Okay, which is actually repeating, got deleted. Okay, so again, sets are mutable collection of unique values, okay, which are unordered. Basically what is meant by that is it's basically an unordered collection, again very similar to a list. But yeah, the only difference is over here you cannot have unordered elements. You cannot have elements which are repeated. Okay, that is the only major difference. Okay, you cannot have elements that are repeated. Okay, so this is one way of creating a set. What is the other way of creating a set? Is you just create set of, you need to put elements inside a list. So that is the only drawback. Now we'll also look at a case where you do not put elements inside that. Okay, take the same example as well. What happens if you do not use any this thing? What happens is you get a set expected at most one argument, but you got an error. So you always need to pass in your elements in a set within a list. So that is one. So whenever you pass element within a list, it gets carried out. So now we have looked at how to create a list, right? How to create a set, what a set, okay, what are its unique properties. Now we'll go on to how do you add values to a set. Adding values to a set is very straightforward. What you can basically do is you can just directly use the add method which is available. Okay, so you just use add method which is available. It directly adds this particular element to the set. So it will add this element if this element is already not there. So if it is a repeatable element, what it does is basically does not add this value since you already have this value. Again, in adding multiple elements, you cannot pass in directly. Okay. So what happens if you pass the elements directly is you will again get an error which you had got previously. You'll again run into a type error, which was you basically again run into a type error. So what is the solution for this is you basically do not pass in elements just as it is. You basically would need to pass these elements in a list. Okay, so whenever you pass these elements in a list, the elements gets added back to the set. Okay, so just do not pass elements directly. Okay, just pass it in this thing, it will get added back. So again, you're getting some error. So basically what you do is maybe you can just pass it in maybe a dictionary. Okay, looks like add only takes in single elements. Okay, now it basically is added back to the set. So when you just do my underscore set, it is added back. Okay. Now if you want to remove elements, removing elements. Okay, so again, I think you get this error because it's unhashable type list, right? So one way of working over this is, since it's unhashable, you can pass it in a dictionary. Sorry, you can pass it in a tuple. Yeah, now it gets added back, right? So this is added back. Now, how do you remove elements? So again, removing elements is again straightforward. You have a direct method for removing elements from a set. It gets removed, and the value. Now again, similar to pop, it basically you need to specify in this value will remove that particular element. Okay. Now, common operations in a set. I think this is where a set is actually very useful. These operations on set is where the usefulness of set you actually can understand. Let's assume you have a my underscore set and one more a sample set. So you basically have two sets. Now, common operations on set are something is called as union. So all your set operations, remember the normal mathematical Venn diagram set operations, union, intersection, subtraction, union, intersection, difference. So you can do all of that over here. Now say you want to do a union. Okay. So first we'll run this value. So you just want to do a my underscore set. You want to do a union. Union of this. So you just print it out. So you get the output, right? So I can see. So what basically union is, it combines the element of the first set with that of the common elements in the second set. Basically, it does not repeat elements, right? That is what the whole idea of union is. So as you can see, 1, 2, 31, the element of the first set, namely 1, 2, 34, and 55 are there. In addition to that, you only have 44. Now, why do you have only 44? Is 55, 1, and 2 are repeated, right? So you can do an intersection in a very similar manner. So you just call intersection with, you pass the second set over here, you just get the common ones. Similarly, you can do difference as well. Okay. Now basically what we'll move on to the what are the different methods available in the set, different built-in methods. So again, these built-in methods are very similar, right? So you have add, clear, copy, difference, update, discard, intersection, is subset, is disjoint. So most of these methods are similar to whatever we have seen previously, right? So I think the only difference would be is disjoint. So this is similar as disjoint set. So is disjoint, right? Is disjoint, basically the output of this is a Boolean value. It will basically tell you if two sets are disjoint or not. Okay. Disjoint basically means one element. This it basically tell you disjoint sets. Disjoint basically means that it tells you it does not have any element in common. Intersection is 0. That's what is disjoint will tell you. Again, one more this thing could be is subset. I think there's one more method called is subset. What basically is a subset or is superset will tell you if two elements are subset, one element is subset of other, or this particular set is superset of it. So again, all common methods. All I think even the how. I think understanding also should be straightforward, right? Because it's very similar, right? Similar to whatever we have discussed until now. Okay, then thank you for watching this video. So next, I think we'll move on to. I think we'll meet it in the next video. Thank you.